Hey y'all, thank you for stopping back to Dropping Gems with Jamie. And I am Jamie. Today I want to share a little bit of my testimony of the challenges of being a mother. And I'm going to start by just talking about my mother and the challenges she did have. So when I was younger, my mom and dad they divorced, and when they did, my mom I wanted to stay with my mom. My siblings went with my dad, and I was like, I ain't going. I want to stay with my mom. So they let me stay with my mom, and so things got a little rough. When she was like, "You really need to go be with your siblings." So I didn't want to, but I didn't have a choice. So I went, moved in with my dad and my siblings and stuff. But it hurt so bad. It hurt because I wanted my mama, you know. And so I had a hard time because me, I didn't know how to comb my hair. I didn't know, how to dress. I was 10 years old, so I didn't know how to do some things. So, mom, she had me groom my hair was way down my back, and she kept me up. So then, of course, as time went on, my hair started breaking off and different things like that. So I looked a mess to me. I looked a mess when I was younger. So um, I would just watch my friends, people at school, as time went on, to learn how to do things, how to buy my clothes and stuff like that with my babysitting money. So um, as time went on, my brother, he ended up going to Ohio, and my mom was there. So I went to visit, and then she asked me, did I want to move there, to be around her and stuff. And I thought about it. And so I ended up going. So I moved to Ohio, and I'm going to tell you, it, it was strange. I was nervous. I didn't know how to call her mom. I called her by her first name for a while. She said it was okay. She understood because I hadn't called nobody mom in years. So um, I'm gonna tell you, it was lonely. I had a lot of lonely moments, a lot of crying, when I was younger. So my mom's back in my life, and it was overwhelming, exciting, but overwhelming. And but we did what we had to do to get to know each other and everything. um so I started having kids. I was 19. I moved there when I was about 19. I was 19, so I ended up having my first child. And so she helped me with that. She was excited. She was a grandmother and things like that. But as time went on, we would, as I'm raising my kids, she would try to tell me different things, and man, we bumped heads so much. And I would say things to her like, "You don't know, you didn't raise me. How you gonna tell me how to do?" And that was out of anger that I had pent up against her. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know sometimes that you feel that way until you get mad at somebody, and all this stuff come surging up, purging up, as you probably should say. And so I would spew things like that, and I know it hurt her. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to hurt her at the time, because she was hurting me, telling me I wasn't a good mother. That's what I thought. How you gonna tell me I ain't a good mom? Where was you? Where was you when I needed you? You can't tell me. And I'd take my son and go home and don't talk to her for a while, and stuff like that. And that went on. And I have 6 kids, so as time went on, um, she had a favorite. That was my oldest boy. And so we would bump heads about that too. Like, you gotta love all my kids. You can't just favor one and, leave the other one. So we would fall out about that too. So, I used to think she thought I was incompetent with some things. And, I would think she would say little things that jug at me, at times. And like I said, it was kind of hard at times because I was grown when I went there. So it was almost like I felt like she was treating me like somebody that wasn't her daughter at times. Um, but my mom, we would sit down and study the word together and stuff. I didn't know nothing about God, and I didn't know anything about the Bible. And she would, sit down and talk to me a little bit and tell me stuff. And I was intrigued, like, what? She would tell me stuff. And so we would do that. I mean, we had mother-daughter times, don't get me wrong. But when them times arose, it arose. So, um, I just want to say, I guess I'm really talking about this because um, before my mom passed, I was having a lot of dreams about her and stuff. And I would wake up. I remember waking up one night and saying, no, I don't want my mom to die. I love my mom. And I didn't understand why I said that. And I had a lot of dreams. And when she would come around me, I would just get up and go to my computer. And I never would be on my computer. It's like I knew she was coming. And I didn't understand that. When she would leave, I'd be like, why am I acting like this? Why am I acting like this? And so my mom, she didn't come around me a lot. And one while, she was distant, and then she started coming around a lot, and I kept going, why is she coming around so much? Well, I had called her one day because my money was short, and I was like, why is my money short? And I needed to borrow money, but I had so much pride, I'm not gonna ask her, but I really needed to ask her, and she knew it. And she said, what's wrong? What do you want? What do you want to ask me? And I was like, nothing. And I sat on the phone and I talked a little more, and she goes, no, what do you want to ask me? And I was like, well, I don't know. Somehow my money is short and I need to pay a couple bills and get some grocery. You think I could borrow some money? And she said, yeah, come get it. So I got the money and everything. And I think I told her I'd pay her back in 2 weeks when I got paid. So, I ended up going over there to pay her back. And when I went over there, I took my son with me, my baby boy, and it was around Christmas time, close. It was in November, and she had this little magazine out, and she was asking, "What do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? Pick out something." And he just kept shaking his head. No, he was acting funny, and I was like, "What's wrong with you? Granny's asking you what you want. Pick something out." He do like that, and I was like, "I don't know what's wrong with him today, Mom." And so I sat down. I like to watch Friends, and it was something else, Friends, and something else that came on, and I was like, if I go home, I'm gonna miss it. So she told me, go ahead and sit down, go ahead and watch it. So I had sat down and I started watching. She had company, and they were sitting in her dining area, and I was sitting in the living room, and I was watching my show, and I was laughing and carrying on, and the Holy Spirit said, she's enjoying watching you laugh. I'm like, enjoying me watching me laugh? So I turned around, and I seen her over there smiling. Actually was looking at me smiling, and I turned back around. I said, okay. So I think I laughed a little harder than I need to laugh, because I know she was enjoying seeing me laugh. So I do a little extra laugh, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, after I watched my shows, I told her, okay, Mom, thank you for letting me borrow the money. And so we got ready to go, and my son wouldn't hug her. And I was like, what's wrong with you? Give your granny a hug. What's wrong with you? He was acting funny. I didn't know why and stuff. So she was like, that's okay. So she hugged us, hugged me, and we left. And so later that night, well, it was like my husband kept telling me, come on, go to bed, and I'm like, okay, in a minute. I kept sitting on the couch, and I don't know why I didn't go to bed right away, but it was like I just sat, like I was waiting on something, like I I just wouldn't go. I just sat on the couch. And then finally about 4 in the morning, I get up and I go to bed. Had to go to work. It was on a Friday. And so the I was getting ready for work Friday morning, and the phone rings. So I go to the phone, and I answer the phone, and it's my brother's girlfriend, and she's like, "Your mom's in the hospital." And I'm like, "What?" And she's telling me, she said, "I called, they won't let me talk. They need, you gotta have the kid." My brother was asleep. He had to go to work, whatnot. But anyway, she called me and said, "You need to check up on your mom." So I call, and they're like, "Yeah, she's doing bad," and blah, blah, blah. And so I call off work, and I get up there and stuff, and she has this thing down her throat, and she can't talk and whatnot. And so it was like 3 days, and um, it was that Friday, that Saturday, and she passed on that Sunday. I was at church, and they called me, and so I went, and we had our little talk. We all said our goodbyes to her, my family, my siblings. But it was so crazy because it's like, you're not looking for, you're not thinking it's gonna happen. You living, and you take stuff for granted. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't know how to feel after that. And I thought about all the stuff how I would go to the computer and sit down. God had been telling me, he don't let nothing slip up on us. He really don't. He had been telling me, showing me in the dreams. I didn't understand it. He even showed her. She would ask me, "What does this dream mean?" And I, look it up and stuff. And I said, "Oh, Mom, this means this." And I said, "Oh, whatever, what it meant." And we never really talked about it. But she did tell me before she passed, and she never ever talked about it, but she said, "If anything ever happens to me, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. This is what I want songs to sing," and I'm like, "Okay." And I did everything she asked, but it's heartbreaking because you don't mourn right away. Like, it's like, ooh, sorry, y'all. You do, but then it hits you in moments that just, whew, not right now. You know what I'm saying? And it comes out of nowhere, and just something to trigger, and you think about them, and you be like, "Oh my God, oh my God." So then as life went on for me being a mother, I had to go through things with my marriage and with my kids. And so as I went through some things, and me and my husband separated, and I began to walk in the new journey of being by myself and back outside in this world, because I went through some stuff. I ain't gonna go through all that right now because I want to focus on this. But my children went through something watching me go through something, but they didn't understand what I was going through, and they were mad at me. They didn't understand the pain, the hurt, my whole foundation that crumbled. And you don't want your kids to see you discombobulated and, out of place. And so I ended up moving. And so, but in my moving, that's where the anger and stuff like that came from. And then I say to me, I had a nervous breakdown, but then you don't see the breakdown. You do things that you wouldn't have normally did. I start doing things that I wouldn't have done. That it's just that I didn't want to talk about God. I didn't want to nothing. I was so hurt, so gone, so I didn't know what to do with what I was going through, and there was nobody for me to talk to. I wanted my mom. Um, I knew she'd been there. Okay. Um, I didn't have anybody that come and talk with me about what I was going through. So as I went along my journey, I would go through some things, and I understand what mom was going through. I didn't know that's why she, God, I didn't know. But tell my mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't understand. And you go through things, and I'm still doing it. Just certain things, especially with my children, you know what I'm saying? And all I could tell them is, you ain't walked in my shoes. You don't know what I went through. I had to walk in my mom's shoes, per se. I had to walk some of her stuff out to understand where she was mentally. Because you could take some blows, man, and you'll be numb. A walking zombie. You don't even know you that zombie. You won't even know. You just going along with life. Mask, because you trying to survive. You trying to take care. A mother is a nurse. The mother is the doctor. The mother is the lawyer. The mother, she is the housekeeper. The mother is the lover. The mother, she's everything. She's the friend. She got to be everything to the husband and the kids. And you might not be doing good with it, because guess what? You really don't know how to be a mother. Some people are blessed to be excellent. But if you was raised a certain way and you didn't know how to do certain things, you doing the best you can with what you know, and then you look around and try to catch on to some other stuff that look good, that maybe I could be like this with my kids, or, stuff like that. But if you don't know how to mother, and you don't know how to be a wife, because I didn't see no good stuff. Not really. I seen it in the beginning when I was younger, when my mom and dad were together, and we had some fun moments, but when they separated, it was a whole nother thing. And I knew some things that my mom taught me when I was little. She had a routine for us. Mom was cool. She knew how to. She was that down south mama. They scrubbed the floors, and she cooked our breakfast and lunch. She was that. Saturdays we cleaned house, we did laundry. She taught us how to make the beds and little. And I held on to that, But if you don't have anybody to show you how to be a young lady, or how to, just take care of your household, and how to treat your husband, and, what to do, what not to do, you do the best you can. So I did the best I could with what I knew. And, you fail a lot, because I get the kids, you didn't do this for me, you didn't do that for me. I had 6 kids, and anybody that got any kids, they fight, they argue. So that's where you use a lawyer. Stop it, quit it. What did you do this? Why did you do that? Then you got the, you favor this one better than you favor that one. I love you all the same, but you deal with every personality that you around. You love them all the same, but they got all different personalities. So you deal with this personality, and this one might need a little more than that one need, and because I used to think my mom favored, and she did, my brother, but she said she did. She said because she was taught that because he was a boy, he was that, the man, you honor that. And So she always gave him the best. And just like my oldest son, she always favored him because that's what she was taught. Um, I didn't understand stuff like that. You know, you don't know, you just don't know. So you have to be a cook, and they don't like what you cook, and so I didn't really know how to cook, not really. I didn't know how to do a whole lot of southern cooking. I wasn't a southern girl. I didn't eat soul food. You know, I was tacos, hamburger helper, stuff like that's what I was. So I tried, to do things. I cooked things for the kids, and we had Sunday dinners with the meatloaf and the cornbread and the cabbages and I would do that. I learned to do that, but they got tired of some foods. I wasn't that crafty person in the kitchen. You know, I did enough, I think, so nobody starved all the time. But sometimes they were hungry, and we had six of them, like I said, and kids would eat. They used to sing that song, "I'm hungry, well, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry." They ate 5 minutes ago. I'm hungry. What you want from me? I'm one person. So, so anyway, it's like being a mother. You take on so many roles. They say wear so many hats, but nobody thinks about what we going through. Like we need that moment. I need a getaway moment. I just tell my kids, I just want to run away, and it was a figure of speech. But my one son told me as he was older, and about a year ago, he told me, he said, I used to always, because I moved, I don't know if it bothered him. He goes, Mom, you always said you wanted to run away. I said, but I didn't really mean run away from y'all, because y'all was my haven. I loved y'all. I didn't need no friends. I had my kids around me. We laugh, we talk, you know what I'm saying? That's what I needed, them. But then yeah, they get on your nerves. Everybody arguing and fighting, and you had a dog sometimes, and a dog barking, and you know what I'm saying? So I mean, we get depleted, and you know, you you lose yourself because you're trying to make sure the kids look the best. I always wanted them to look better than me. We look the same. I don't want to, look better than they did. Um, I learned with them. I tell my oldest one, we learned together. He didn't know how to be a big brother or a son. He just was a little boy with a mother. He's my first child. We was learning together. You know what I'm saying? Um, and we don't do everything right. You know, um, I try to train my kids up to be mannerable children, respectable. Um, I think I got that part right. If I didn't get anything else right, I've always had feedback that they were mannerable children, young adults, even. Um, but I don't know about some of you mothers, but there's have been many nights that I would go to bed crying because I know my kids wanted more, or um, things I was going through in my marriage or whatever, and you don't want them to see you cry, and a whole lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You get they all they know is they hungry and they want and they need, and why can't I? And I want to go, and you're like, no, you can't have that because I don't have enough money. No, you can't have that because no, you can't go here because it's not safe. Or no, you can. You know what I mean? So I was like the big bad mama bear, and they said I hovered them too much. Um, I was very protective over my children. I've always been like that. I was very protective over them. So And now that they got their kids, when I'm around them and I don't, mom, don't do that to them. Don't make them scary. Don't let them play. But that's just me. I just don't want nobody to get hurt. And I just, but it's just, as a mother, it's hurtful when you hear you did it wrong and you know that you've given them the best of you, the best that you could give them, and you hear you got it wrong. So even with my mom, even though she didn't raise me, it's like when I said those things to her, I know it hurt because I feel it when my kids say stuff to me and it don't matter. She had her journey. She had her marriage that failed and what she went through and how she felt and how she couldn't bounce back from that stuff and the things that she did to survive mentally. And sometimes life will take you where you don't want to go. You just find yourself going down a road just to make it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody see you in that la 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 la, like I'm in a zone. Nobody see you there. They just see that you walking. Hi, how you doing? I'm good. Oh, I'm good. Hey, hi, yeah. Oh, hi. All that. No, hey, yeah, all that stuff. But no, and you don't know the inside. You don't see the inside, the hurt, the pain that you go through. And so a lot of stuff I seen in my childhood overflowed into my adulthood. I lived in fear. I was afraid my mom was going to leave me, when her and my dad would get into it. Fear, the arguing and the fighting. Just, made me timid in life. Some parts of it made me, I think, my sister say to me all the time, is like I sometimes I moved in the, oh well, go for it. don't look at, I don't look at the consequence. I just jump in it, just do. I was very sheltered myself. My dad didn't let me do anything at all, really. He was always scared I was going to get the big stomach. He said the big belly. He didn't want me to get pregnant. So I was very sheltered. I used to be mad about it, but I understand it. Even, I understand it. But, so for me, what I went through in my childhood, I tried to tell my children, I used to sit down with them and I'd let them voice, how they felt. I'd say a family meeting on Saturdays. I would pray with them and talk to them about God and then share and let them talk to me and tell them how they felt because I couldn't. I tried to have a good relationship with my daughters, especially to teach them the things that I did know. I wanted them to tell me about when they had guys that they liked and stuff like that because I didn't want them to be mistreated. I didn't want them to be made a fool of. And even, with their friends, just tried to guide them. And I did okay with that. But, they didn't tell me everything. They didn't, but we talk. They know they can come to me and talk to me about anything. And I'm not just going to jump down their throat. And we sit and talk and try not to be so judgmental is what I'm saying when they come and talk to me. We don't always get it right. I have not always got it right. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I just want to help people that are struggling and think that they're an awful parent. Um, I was a single mother too for a while, so you do what you got to do and do the best you can, and you know that's what I did. And I tell you, God got me through. I did a lot of praying, um, a lot of praying, and He would send people in my life to help me if I needed food. Um, when I didn't have money for clothes for my little ones, where I went to church at, um, nice ladies that would come and they had really nice clothes that the kids outgrew. You know, I was never too proud to accept clothes from other people and stuff like that. So, but as a mother, you take some hits. you take some hits, and you know, I wish I could tell my mom face to face how I'm sorry. Um, that I didn't understand. I know, I know. I had a dream that I went into my mom's room and she was in the bed. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. And I was talking to her, and as I was talking to her, I was like, walked around. I said, "Oh, mom." It was another room. I went in there. I said, "Whoa, this room is beautiful." I said, "I didn't know you had this room." I said, "This is beautiful. You never told me you had this room, Mom. This is really beautiful." And it was. And so when I woke up and I was like, "God, what did that dream mean?" He let me know there was a side of my mother that I never got to meet. There was a part of her that I never got to know. And I was like, man, and I was like, man, you know, time waits for no one. And I used to drive these little girls to high school. It's called the Op Bus, and I would take them, and them and their child. They would go to daycare. The child would go to daycare while they're in school. And there was some girls that I would have moments with, and they would be going through with their mother, and they would be like, they don't like her, they can't stand her, blah 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 blah. And the one thing I was able to share with them, like, you know, yes, you're gonna have troubles. Everybody, you gonna, your adulthood and all that, and some people have that. But I just wanted to put it out there that she may not always be there, and you gonna wish she was. You know, um, like I said, you don't think about it, but it can happen just like that. And then because it sometimes it slaps me, even though I think about God. Thank you so much for allowing me to borrow that money, because I got to see her, you know, the night that night, and I thank God for that. But it's like, whew, you just don't know. And I thank God that I know she had came over, and I told you she was coming over, and then she, and I was like, why is she coming over? She don't never come over. She coming over time. What is she doing? Why? Because and then she would come in, and she came asked me, could she wash clothes? I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I told the kids, Granny's she's gonna be coming over to wash clothes. So we let's clean up real good, and she sit down and enjoy herself while she wash clothes. Well, I get home from work, and my daughter says, yeah, we cleaned up. Me and Granny. I said, cleaned up? Ain't nothing wrong. We already cleaned up. What do you mean you cleaned up? My mom did like this, like don't pay her no mind. I'm like, and I got mad, like, what she mean? I did clean. My house is clean. I don't know what she was talking about. You know, I'm sitting there and I'm like frustrated. And the Holy Spirit says, stop it. I heard it all up in there. Apologize. And I was like, whoa. So I looked over at my mom and I said, Mom, I'm sorry. You know, and I tell you the truth, uh, I'm so glad that we were on good terms. I am so glad, so glad. I'm so glad. All I can say, I am so glad we were on good terms before she left. And you know, I just don't want anybody to go through that. You know, because the Bible says in the last days that it'll be mother against mother, brother against brother, you know, family basically against family, basically. That's how I see it. And that's what's going on. And man, if you can help some of that, you know, and just stop and think, walk away, and you know, it don't have to end in where you hating your mom or hating your brother or sister, whatever. You know what I mean? Because man, there's been some days I just wish she was here, because my mom was wise. She was she would blow me away, you know, with some of the things she would share with me, even the things she went through, her testimony, her stories, and when she would read the word and what she would get out of it. As you know, when I did get into the word, and we would be on the phone for hours studying together, and I was like, oh wow. Um, my mom, she was a dialysis patient, and they loved her. She went there 3 days out of the week, and they would mom would help them like find the, I think she said, the vein in their arms and stuff. She was good at stuff like that. My mom was athletic. She used to play sports with my brothers and stuff. We'd always have all the kids would be over our house. We had a big field, and we played softball and kickball, and she'd do the snowball. Mom was the athletic one, man, and my brothers took after her. I well now I didn't like go outside. I read books, stay in the house. I'm not outdoors. That ain't me. That ain't me. I'm in the house watching more. I'm a movie buff and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, she was very athletic, and we had good times. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to share that you go, as a mother, we go through so much. And even though she didn't raise me, we were around each other as you know, in my adulthood. I wish I didn't hold that against her, because I think it stopped sometimes we could have had, is what I'm saying. um you know, because even though she didn't raise me, she did still know stuff as a mother. um and I just you know, sometimes, but I repented. God, I'm sorry. Told her I'm sorry, um and just try to do better, um every day with mine, um in conversation, and not, thinking I know what's best and all that. I try to pull back, let them do what they do, because they're grown. If they need me, my advice, I give it. If they don't want to take it, that's okay. um I just try to be there when I can, for my children. But uh I love my grandkids, and I'm not able to be around all of them. I hate that, but it's a journey I had to take. It was a hard choice that I took to come, so far away from them. Um, but you don't know what God has in store, So I'm just taking, you know, I'm just letting God lead and guide me. Because we don't know all things. We don't know why sometimes we have to go the place we do. He pluck us up and put us somewhere else. We don't understand. Other people don't understand. Um, but it ain't for other people either. So you get judged a lot about how you live your life. But for me, I finally got to the point where I can't worry about what they think, because I have did the best I could, been depleted, along the way. They don't, like I say, people don't know your struggles, your journey. They think they see and know, but they don't know all things of what you go through. So it's like you just go along and you try to keep just doing the best you can at with the mistakes you made, and just try to do better. That's what I'm doing. Just trying to do better, but you're not going to judge me. I'm not going to allow you to judge me anymore as a parent, or anybody judge me of me being a parent. I love all my children. I love all my grands. I love my grands. And I just want the best for all of them. And for me, it's like I want to keep everything real. I just want to keep it real with, can't be the best. You do the best you can. And you ain't all, you can be the best. Now let me tell you, rewind that. You can be the best, but if you're not where you are, keep going till you can get to where you want to go. Because I've seen some super parents out here, and I'll be applauding them, because I'll be like, oh, I wish I would have known how to do that when I had my kids. I wish I would have knew this when because I didn't know. And like I said, people judge people, how they raise their kids or how they look and stuff. But I learned as I went along, you can't judge people like they judge girls. All they want to do is lay on their back. Maybe that's all they do. They saw this is what you do. You lay on your back, you have babies, and maybe that's all they knew to do. Me, if I see when I'm around young ladies, I try to encourage them and talk to them and help them. I've helped, tried to help young girls, watch their kids. They go hang out a little bit, whatever. Because I was a young teen, 19, but I was young and didn't have nobody to help me, and I know you get tired, you get wore down, you need a break. So I try to give back, knowing where I have been as a mother, a young mother, without help, with help. It's still, you go through things in life. Like I said, not just try to encourage young ladies, we all need to vent and talk about sometimes, oh, they got on my nerve. Sometimes we just got to say that stuff. Get it out. Sit down, Oh, so the kids all say, you was always on the phone. I may have been, but that's my getaway. I didn't leave you. I was down at people's houses. I had to get away sometime, somewhere. I'd be on the phone, whatever. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't the best, but I did the best I can. And one thing I did, I never just left my kids at home. I love my kids. I'd be leaving when they was old enough to stay at home. I'd go to the store and I would worry about them and stuff. So I tell you, I had my kids with me a lot wherever I went, pretty much. So when they were little, but like I say, I hope I'm not boring y'all. But like I say, being a mother it's very tedious. It's very tedious, and sometimes we don't get no sleep because, they got fevers, and one might have chicken pox, and the other one might catch chicken pox. They get them chicken pox, and they might get the flu, and the other one get the flu and diarrhea, and You know, I'm telling you, boy. I mean, a woman's job is never done, even when she think it is. How about that? That's what I'm trying to say right there. But I say, you know, women, keep your head up. There's more I'd like to say, but you know, I feel like I'm being all over the place. But the bottom line is, be the best you can as a young lady. And what you don't know, ask. And if you're scared to ask, Google. There's everything on there. You know what you want to. You know how to do this and how to do that. So don't feel bad about what you don't know. You know, do the best you can, because it's very hard. Even if you got one, it's hard. Think about 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's my number, 6. And then I got my little grands. You know, I enjoyed, you know, helping when they were around, when I was around them. So it's tedious, but I love it. I love it. And and shout out to the other grandmas, my grandmothers that are there. I'm a little jelly. I'm a lot jelly. So I know y'all having a ball with them, and it's tedious. Also, you know, being grandparents, because we got to go here, go there sometimes, and stop our day and, you know, do something to help our children. So, and I hate that I'm not there to help some of the grandmothers, you know, and thank you. So, in saying all that, I would like for y'all to like and hit the subscribe button and leave a comment, and I'll reply back. I hope this wasn't too boring for y'all, but I was getting caught up and I just wanted to stop because I don't want to be crying on here. This is my mama. This is my mama. So I don't want to stay here too long. But y'all keep your head up. And even if you have, you know, need advice and you want to leave me a comment, you know, I'll reach out to you and I'll help in any way I know. If you have any questions, young ladies, even older, just anybody, I'll be glad to help. So thank you all for letting me say what I needed to say, and I pray that I have blessed somebody. And let me say a little prayer. Can I do that? Father God, I thank you. I thank you for this moment that you allowed me to release, to share what's on my heart. And I hope and I pray to you, Father, that you bless every young lady's heart on here, every broken heart, God, mend it. And put your loving arms around them and give them wisdom, God, on how to raise their children, and knowledge, God. God, give them food to feed their children. Give them new ideas, God. Just bless them in the ways that they're asking you to bless them, God. And send the people, God, to help them, God, with what they don't have or what they don't know. And I ask this in the name of Jesus. And I ask, God, that you just surround them with your love. Let them feel the love that you have, God. Let them feel that they're not alone. And I give you praise, honor, and glory. And I thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen. So thank y'all again for stopping by, Dropping Gems with Jamie. And I want y'all to be blessed and highly favored. And I'm out.